Tja, wer hätte das gedacht? Es ist schon wieder ein neues Assassin's Creed in der Mache. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag versetzt uns in ein Piratenszenario und bei mir ist Carsten, Lead Content Designer und eben zuständig eben auch für die Entwicklung des neuen Assassin's Creed. So, Carsten, I start this with a joke, okay?
Okay.
Why are pirates pirates?
I don't know. Why are pirates pirates?
Because they are. No, this is pretty exciting. I guess only a few people would have guessed that the new Assassin's Creed is coming so soon. Some have been guessing that it might be a spin-off, some have been guessing it might be a download content, but it's a whole new game, right?
Absolutely, yes. This is a full Assassin's Creed experience, incorporating a number of studios around the world, the lead studio, of course, being in Montreal.
And I always thought that also Ubisoft would be the publisher to be against piracy.
Yeah, well, in the modern sense of the word, certainly we are. But no, the 18th century version of piracy is one that offers fantastic opportunities for gameplay, ruthless and bloodthirsty fighting and action, and all sorts of opportunities for exploration. It's a great theatre in which to set an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, me personally, I'm a great pirate fan. As a kid, I loved pirate books and also like, you know, Playmobil and Lego style and everything. So, of course, pirates have a history in video games. Take Monkey Island, take Sid Meier's Pirates. So, but there's never been a true action adventure like in Assassin's Creed 4, right?
That's correct. You know, there's an absolute gap, if you like, for us to fill with that. You know, an HD open world action adventure pirate theme game is something that fans have been crying out for, the media have been crying out for, and we've been desperate to make ourselves. So when we saw and when we learnt that in Assassin's Creed 3 the American Revolution featured a considerable amount of naval combat, and then we saw that being developed and we saw the potential of that, it was a very, very easy decision to make, to go back in time, 60 years, and go into the golden age of piracy, this fantastic period of time.
So, talking about the naval combat, what is different from Assassin's Creed 3?
The main difference is the seamlessness, the fact that you are no longer experiencing a land game and a sea game put together. This is one cohesive experience. So you can go from an island, jump into the water, swim up to your ship, and off you go. Look through your spyglass. There's a sea filled with opportunity, ships to attack, ships to escape from if the Navy are chasing you, islands to explore. It's a cohesive, fluid, epic adventure.
So how does this more open world style affect the mission's design? Can I choose freely, or do I have some kind of linearity in the game?
So the main story path will incorporate quite a lot of land-based gameplay and a combination of land and sea missions as well. But the big difference, I think, here is that if you like the naval experience, if you like to go out at sea, it's the challenges and the enemies that you have and the opportunities that you have appear systemically. So you can spend, if you want, an infinite amount of time being consistently and increasingly challenged out on the high seas.
Ah, okay. Am I getting seasick then?
You know, we've put a lot of effort into the storms and the weather. So there's even more dynamic weather than we had in Assassin's Creed 3. And navigating safely through a storm is key, because you want to keep your crew alive, because without a strong crew, your ship won't operate at its full capacity.
Yeah, we come back to the ship just in a few seconds, but let us first talk about the new hero. It's not Connor anymore, it's again a new character. Who is he? His
name is Edward Kenway, and he is actually related to Connor. So if you think that we're going back 60 years, Edward Kenway had a son, that was Haytham, and Haytham, of course, is the father of Connor in Assassin's Creed 3. So there is a family tie-in between Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 3. But the personality of Edward is very, very different to that of Connor. This man is a pirate first and foremost. He's self-motivated, he's greedy, he's brash, he's boisterous, he's a hard drinker, he loves the ladies, he's everything you would expect from a pirate. But he eventually, throughout the course of the story, and certainly at the beginning of the story, he stumbles into this ancient war between assassins and Templars. And that's a very interesting mix, because you have this pirate with all these assassin influences coming into his life as well. And the story tackles how he deals with these two big influences on his life.
Okay, but of course we don't want to spoil anyone, but how do the stories of the Assassins and the Templars fit into a pirate setting?
Well, we can't spoil too much, and we will be telling more about it for sure. But what's interesting is that as a pirate trained by assassins, the skills that he learns are going to help him very much be an even more effective pirate.
And then how does his character being more rude style affect his fighting style?
Yeah, he is more of a, how should we put it, more of a street fighter, more of a pub fighter than a martial arts expert for sure. So he'll use his environment and he's used to fighting in close proximity, you know, on a deck of a ship. It's a confined area. So his fighting style is very, very aggressive, very efficient, and as I say, more of a street fighting style.
Okay. We've learned in the presentation that he is also able to dive. Previous characters could swim, now he can also dive. Are there any other new abilities?
The swimming underwater is a great new environment for us to explore. If you can imagine all the shipwrecks and wildlife that exists on the seabed, you can see the huge opportunities that we're providing gamers with a whole new environment in which to play with.
Okay. Let's talk about the ship. In the presentation you said that also the ship can be developed and leveled up like as it was a character.
Yeah, you could look at the Jackdaw, which is the name of Edward's ship, almost as a second character. You obviously develop Edward through the story, but you also need to develop his ship, the Jackdaw, as well. And that comes in the form of obviously adding cannons and weapons, increasing the defensive strength of the hull, for example. And this is going to be important because there's really, really big ships out there in the open world. You know, outside the main story path, you have these enormous galleons that are protecting certain regions of the map. And so when you're out exploring outside of the main story path, looking through your spyglass at what possibilities are out there, and you see one of these enormous ships, you know that there's going to be something out there on some of the islands nearby that it's protecting. But at the start of the game, you won't be able to take that on. These ships have 100 guns, and if you go anywhere near it, it's just going to blow you out of the water. So you've got this incentive to go, rob ships, steal their cargo, sell that cargo, upgrade your ship. It's a perpetual cool gameplay loop.
Okay. There are also two premieres for the Assassin's Creed franchise. First is we go back in time again, and the second is there's no Desmond. Why is that?
Well, Desmond's story came to a conclusion at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. If you haven't played it, I won't spoil it exactly what happened. But even more important than that is that all along the time scale for the Desmond story was set at the end of 2012. So the story comes to its conclusion in December 2012. So now the real world and the Assassin's Creed world are now perfectly aligned. So we want to take advantage of that. And so in the present day, in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, we place the player as the hero of the present day. So now players can actually be part of the Assassin's Creed universe directly and not have to play through a third party such as Desmond.
Yeah. One of the last questions is, you also said that this is going to be on PlayStation 4.
Yep.
And how far will the PlayStation 4 version differ from the old generation's consoles?
Well, the most obvious way that it will differ is in a visual sense. So we will obviously push the new console to its limits in terms of graphical enhancement. So the game will look visually superior to current gen games. That's fair to say. However, the systems, the gameplay, we're pushing very hard to make sure that they can players without a PS4 can still have a full Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag experience. We'll also be utilizing the PlayStation 4 new controller as well, and there's other features as well that we will reveal later on.
Yeah. One last question. No offense, but there have been a lot of Assassin's Creed games in the last few years, and of course it is a successful story and you want to expand the universe, but don't you see a kind of danger to overdo the franchise for the fans?
Well, I mean, I think this is one of the reasons why we want to come up with a new setting, a new hero, and a period of history that everyone is very, very excited about. So, yeah, you know, we hear what you're saying, but I think with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and the fact that as you said earlier, there isn't a pirate game out there that meets the quality levels that we can achieve on the Assassin's Creed team. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and we have no guilt whatsoever bringing this out, because I think people will love it.
Okay. Thank you, Carsten. Yeah. Thank you very much. Und ja, ich bin gespannt, was wir in den nächsten Monaten noch über Assassin's Creed 4 erfahren werden.
So, seid ihr auf Beute und Abenteuer aus? Ist Captain Edward Kenway euer Mann? Doch Finger weg von seinem Privatleben. Diesen Mann umgeben Geheimnisse, nach denen sogar ich nicht frage.